Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a new mission, a new battle report of Spectre Operation Tarkov, and this is the board we are going to play on. The map is called Shoreline on the video game Escape from Tarkov. It's a mix of a small village, and near that we have some hills and some forests. And here we have a main road with a lot of vehicles going around. So, the first thing I'm going to do is take a dice. I'm going to roll it to define what's my team. So let's just roll it. And a 5. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We have a 5-man team. I'm going to place on the screen right now the gear just to show you what rules I'm using since I have 5 soldiers. I'm going to grab the cards for all of my soldiers and we can get started in drawing the cards in the different deck to gather their gear. So that's my starting team. You are already pretty familiar with Gator, Scarecrow, and Archer. It was the team that was sent in the last mission. Here we have also Meat, and here we have Roach. If you are wondering, all those miniatures are from turn-based miniature printed in 3D. So, since I have 5 soldiers, looking at the table, for that we have 1 Raider Scav, loot, and oh, let me check. Yeah, we have 1 Raider Scav, so 1 card like that, and the 4 other will be using that card. So let's start with the Raider Scav. So 1 card from the Jaeger's deck. Okay, so we have a Colt M4, Rapid Fire, Compact, no accessory, no silencer, not perfect. Plus 1d2 Fence, so let's grab that dice. Oh, we have 2 cards from Fence. So we have 1 Flash and 1 Impact Grenade. I'm trying to be quick just to keep the video pretty short. 1d4 magazine, so just 2 magazine for the rifle. I'm going to place the correct number of ammunition later. So next we have 1d4 Therapist, a 4, that means 4 cards from Therapist, cool. Bandage, food, and food again, so all the things we are going to sell. Ragman, 1d2 Ragman, yes! 5, that means 2 cards from Ragman. We have a pretty large chest rig and a pretty large backpack, so that's cool. After that we have 1d4 Junk, a 6, that means 4 cards, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, so that's worth a bit of money, so that's great. So that's for the first one. Now I'm going to do the same for the 4 other soldiers using the Scav card. So let's just put that on the side. For the Scav card, we start with 1 weapon from Prapor. Let me actually do all the weapons right away. So we have 4 weapons, so 4 cards from Prapor. A mix of everything, so we have 1 rifle, which is like an AK, but that doesn't fire in rapid fire. We have 1 cool AK with rapid fire here. We have the Molot, which is a sniper rifle, and we have 1 shotgun, so a pretty diverse set of weapons. Going to roll 1d3 magazine for each of them. So for this one, a 6, so 3 magazine. Grabbing 3 magazine under the table. For the shotgun, a 3, that means 2 magazine for the shotgun. For the sniper, a 1, only 1 magazine for the sniper, so we'll need to buy some ammunition. And for the AK, a 3, that means 2 magazine for the AK here. Okay, so that's for the weapons. Now check Therapist. So I'm going to roll 4 times 1d3. So that's a lot of roll. So 1d3. I'm going... Yeah. To try to keep it short, I'm going to do that off screen. Just, yeah. Actually, I think it's pretty cool to show all the drawings just to show you that I'm not cheating. So yeah, let's do that together. So a 4 for Therapist, that means 1d3, that means that's 2 cards from Therapist. Another time, a 6, that means 3 cards. Another time, a 6, again 3 cards. And for the last one, a 3, that means 2 cards. So that's all the cards from Therapist. After that, we have 1d2 Skyer for each of the 4. So 2 cards from Skyer. So 1 chest rig, 1 armor, cool. 4 again, yes. So 1 helmet and 1 headset, cool. Number, it was a 1. So another helmet, and the last one is a 6. And that one will be again 2 cards, a backpack and a chest rig. It's pretty cool. And finally, some junk. So 1d3 multiplied by 4 of my soldier again. So 6, so 3, 1, 2, 3. 3, it's a 2. A 1, it's a 1. And the last one, a 3, it's 2 cards. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff, a lot of loot. Let me pause the camera, attribute the cards to everyone, and after that we'll check what we can do with all the money we have. So, I attributed all the cards to my different soldiers. So for example, here right now, Roach is equipped with the Molot VPO. He has on him the do-it-yourself Akia chest rig. He's equipped with Impact Grenade, the Cat Tourniquet, and the Key Tool. Here we have Meat, equipped with the kind of AK, 1 Flash Grenade, 1 Medkit, 1 Army Bandage, and a backpack. Plus 2 magazine. Here we have Gator with the M4A1. He is equipped with the Peltor. The Peltor allows him to automatically detect enemy that is within 6 inches if they don't see me. So for example, let's say that my guy is over here, and if an enemy arrives by here, I can detect what it is without looking at it directly. He's equipped with the Saliva First Aid Kit, the really cool chest rig, and the big backpack, so he can carry a lot of stuff. Here we have Scarecrow with the shotgun, the toes, the firefighter helmet, the body armor. I keep on him the body armor since he will be probably my point main with the shotgun, the guy up front. Equipped with the first aid kit and an army bandage. And here we have the my guy Archer with the helmet, the Ratnik, a bank robber chest rig, and yeah, I think he have a bandage. So basically all my guy can at least stop bleeding. So bandage, here we have a cat tourniquet that can stop the bleeding, he also have a bandage, and here the saliva can stop bleeding, so everyone is safe and can stop bleeding if something bad happens. So that's it, now we can go to trader. Each of those packs worth $20 plus $2. So we have a lot of money to spare and to buy some equipment. So right now I need some better weapons. So what I'm going to do is just put that on the side, and I will draw the cards. So 4 from Papor, 3 from Jaeger, and 2 from Mechanic, and see what we can do with the money we have. Also, I will need to buy some equipment like body armor, vest, because we are pretty low on that. So yeah, let's pack the card away and have a look at what is available at the traders. So let's have a look at Prapor's deck. Okay, so we have a SIG-P 2026, a Nadar, a Remington, a shotgun, and a TOS. Okay, so the SIG will be definitely useful, the rest not that much. Let's have a look at Jaeger store. So a new MP45, an MP7 with some cool accessory including a silencer, so we'll definitely buy that one. And the 416 will be also pretty cool, not that expensive. The UMP might also be interesting. Let's have a look now here. Oh, now we are talking. Okay, so now we have some really great weapon. AKMS with silencer, AK-74M with a silencer and a drum mag. Okay, so let me calculate a few things, and because I also want to keep some money to buy some equipment, so yeah, let me think about that. Okay, so I'm going to buy those 4 weapons, so the SIG, the AKMS, the AK-74 and the MP7A2, and I'm going to put that back on each of the traders' deck. Since I'm going to buy those weapons, there is also some weapon here that I can sell. So I'm going to sell that Molot VPO. I'm going to sell I'm going to sell also that one. It has a great lethality, but yeah, just a crappy magazine. So I'm going to sell 1, 2, and I'm going also to sell the Colt M4A1 because it doesn't have some cool accessory. Oh, actually no, I will sold the AK-105 because that one has the compact rule. So yeah, I'm going to sell the AK-105. So I'm going to keep the Colt and the TOS. So let's do a bit of math. Let's take the weapons, place them in my inventory. I will sell everything, and after that we'll see how much money we have left. So after selling my weapons and after selling my weapons, I bought those 4 weapons. Trying to focus. So here I just sold everything here to buy those weapons, and I still have $40, so a lot of money to buy some ammunition. So let's affect the weapons and buy some ammunition for them. Okay, so since the last time, I've just changed a bit the price for the ammunition. I'm going to paste on screen right now the new prices. Right now I just have it as a simple note. So here I'm going to sell that diary that worth $12 to buy me some rifle ammunition. So 18 if I'm correct. And here I'm going to sell the tool set and the broken LCD to buy me some pistol ammunition. So I'm going to affect that to my team. And actually, wrong color. This is the green ammunition. So yeah, I'm going to change that to green. That's the sidearm ammunition that I just bought. And we should be good to go on ammunition, and after that we still have only 20, so yeah, only 20 left to buy some equipment. We'll see what we can have at that price. Okay, so that's done. Everyone is equipped with a bit of ammunition. Meat, I would like him to have an extra mag, so we have the MP7 with a full mag of 6. You have an extra mag. I would like him to have an extra mag, but yeah, worst case scenario, I can sell the key tool here to a trader to gain some extra cash, but let's have a look at the gear first. So same idea here, I'm going to draw, not from Prapor, I'm looking for equipments, so I'm going to draw from Skyer deck. Oh, that's going to be expensive. Okay, so 4 here, 3 on Ragman, and 2 on Peacekeeper. Peacekeeper will be way too expensive. Okay, so what do we have here? We have $20. So I'm going to buy those 2 body armor. I'm going to buy those 2 body armor because I need some armor. And yeah, let's first buy those 2 body armor that cost 20, so that I don't have any more cash. Those 2 body armor I'm going to give to the guy with some silence weapons. So 1 to Meat here. I'm going to also give 1 to Roach. And here I'm just going to change something. I'm going to take the body armor from Scarecrow, give it to Archer. And here Scarecrow doesn't have any stuff, any inventory slot, doesn't have any vest or a backpack. That's a bit of a shame. What I can do... No. Yeah, I'm going to sell the key tool. If you had a look at some of my other videos where I explain the rules, the key tool can allow me to have access to some locked location. It was $16, but yeah, here I need some cash, so I'm going to sell the key tool. I'm going to place it over here. That will give me an extra 16. I will buy that scav vest, place it over here. So 16, we have $9 left. What can we buy? Maybe the helmet? Maybe we can buy an helmet. Yeah, I'm going to buy that helmet. I'm going to give him to Roach. And that's it. That's it for the traders. We just have $1 left. For that $1, I'm going to buy 2 extra ammunition for the pistol for the pistol and SMG that I'm going to give to Meat. And that's the end for the trader. Now we are going to start the mission. So yeah, let's deploy on the board. Okay, so for this second mission, I don't have a specific objective. My goal is just to reach the extract. So first off, I'm going to randomly select the entry point. I'm going to roll a die. On a 1, it will be here. On a 2, it will be at the end of that dirt road over here. On a 3, it will be here. 4, 5, and on a 6, it will be just roughly in the middle of the road over here. So let's roll a die to define where I'm going to enter the area. And a 2, it will be on that dirt road just here. Perfect. So now I'm going to roll a die to define where I need to go to extract. Let's roll a die. And on a 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, we are going to extract here at the bottom of that dirt road. So just coming a bit closer. Yeah, just at the bottom here, we need to go to extract. So let's place our team on the board and we can get started with the first turn. Okay, so my team has been deployed here. Just to remember here, those 2 guys doesn't have any suppressed weapons, so I'm going to place those 2 guys up front. So we are ready to start. So the first turn we start with a Fog of War card. We start at 6, so let's roll a die. A 5, we don't have any Fog of War card for now. So for my first turn, so yeah, where I want to go. So I can go, yeah, I have 2 ways of approach. Either I'm going through the village and back on the road towards the extract. Or what I can also do is go towards the rear here, go through the woods, and maybe I'm going. Actually, I also want to loot that house. So the first thing, I'm going to go towards that enemy placement token here. There is also one here and potentially some in that building. Let's first go toward that one, and yeah, let's move the team. So here I just move my team. They are all ready to fire at that token. It's within 6 inches that they detect automatically what's here. So I'm going to draw 1 card. Okay, that first one is empty, so no enemy on that placement token. That's a shame because like I had my guns ready with all the silence weapon. I'm sure I would have taken out that one quietly. So that's it for that turn. I'm going to jump onto the movement phase for the enemy. Since we are here, I'm going to just roll a die for this one together. So he's moving 1 inch toward the house. I'm going to roll also for this one here. So he's moving 3 inches and yeah, toward the entrance of the house. Actually, he may just see me. So let's see what we have here. It's within 7 inch, so let's have a look at the detection table that I have a bit customized since the last time. So they are militia, it's 7 inches so that they detect on a 5+, and I'm also behind that car, but yeah, let's say it's on a 5+. So I'm going to roll that dice. It's a 4, so they don't detect me, and since I don't face them directly, I'm not going to try to detect them. I will see that next turn. So that's the end of the movement phase. We can jump onto turn 2. It starts with a Fog of War card, so switching from 6 to 5. A 4, so no Fog of War card this turn. So let's have a look at what's on that token. So I'm going to that guy. Actually, I just noticed that there is also one other placement token over here. So that they could see me if I go. I wanted to take that guy and go around the car and move here, but they have a chance they see me, so I'm going to stay here for now. Going to turn this guy so he's facing the correct direction. I'm going to advance also toward the building with the rest of the team. And here, let's check how long I can move with that one. So 4, it will just be behind that one. So that's it for the team. We have the 3 silence weapon here, and let's have a look at what's on that token. So it's still within 7 inches. 7 inches I detect on... I am professional, I detect on a 3+. I have actually 3 to 4 guys that I detect that token, so let's have a look. 3, so I detect what's there. Let's draw 1 card. Oop. Empty again, okay, so 2 empty cards. Right now we are pretty safe. So that's the end of the movement. Let's jump onto the movement for the enemy. I'm not going to do that for every turn just to keep the video a bit shorter, so I'm going to move all the tokens, including that one. And yeah, let's jump onto the next turn. Okay, so no crazy movement for the enemy. We jump onto the next turn. Switching the Fog of War to 4, rolling a die. And that's a 4. Okay, so we have a new Fog of War card. Let's see what it is. Eh, clear. Clear, that means nothing. Charlie Mike, continue mission, so back on 6. Okay, perfect. So for that next turn, what we can do over here? There is a few things we can try to loot. First, there will be that civilian car. We have some luggage here that we can loot. I forget, but we can also try to loot that car. That would be great. And I also want to go inside the house and see what's available there. Just trying to look if there are some military box around that house, but I don't see one. So yeah, probably inside there will be some stuff to loot. So let's jump onto the movement phase and move my guys. Okay, so I just entered the building, and as you can see, there might be some stuff to loot. But first, at each time I'm entering a room, I need to roll 1 die. On a 6, there will be 1 enemy inside. So 1 nobody inside that room, so that's great. There might be still someone in that room, so we'll see that later. So here in that room there is that desk that we can loot for some civilian stuff. Here we have, what do we have here? We have the fridge that we can loot for some food. Here we have the desk that can find some civilian stuff, and here we have the military table where we can find some military gear. But I can't loot anything on that turn on that side. I forget to loot the luggage. I will need to come back to try to loot that. But here I can loot that civilian car. And those two here, they are just looking there. Nothing to nothing to loot on that side either. So let's have a look at the loot table, and I'm going to civilian location. I'm going to take, where are my black and white dice? Okay, so I managed to lost my white dice, my black dice, so instead it will be a blue one. So I'm rolling on the civilian location table, a 3 and a 1, so 3 for the and 1, that means I found nothing on that civilian car. So that's the end of that turn. Let's actually do the movement phase of the enemy before normally doing the looting, because the looting is done during the action, the combat phase. So let's check what this token will do. Oh, it will move 6 inches in my direction. So 6 inches in that direction, so he's coming closer to me, but I'm hidden behind this car, so he can't see me. Maybe just hear some noise. I'm going to roll also for that token behind the house. So that one is going 4 inches, going to 4 inches roughly over here. Going to do the same for the one just here in front of the white car, and he's moving 6 inches behind, not white, the yellow car. Okay, trying to focus, please. So that's the end of the movement. And yeah, we can jump onto the next turn. So start of a new turn, we start by a Fog of War card again. Taking a dice, rolling a dice. A 6, oh, we already have a new Fog of War card. So what do we have here? Fog of War car alarm. A car alarm has just gone off, attracting nearby enemies. Select randomly the car. 1d6 enemy token will run toward it if the alert was not raised before the alarm gone off. Every enemy that are not moving towards the car will enter Overwatch. the alert is removed when the enemy enters 2-inch radius from the car. So let's randomly select one car. So there are a lot. So how to make that roll a bit easier? So let's say that on a 1, 2, 3 it will be a car from the road, and on a 4, 5, 6 a car on the rest of the board. So 6 it will be on one of the car present inside the board. So I'm trying to define. So let's say on a 1, 2, 3, no, on a 1 or 2 it will be one of these 3. On a 3 or 4 it will be one of these 4 here. And on a 5 or 6 it will be one of these 3 over here. Rolling a dice, and a 4 it will be one of these 4 vehicles here. So let's give numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and on a 6 I will reroll. 1, 2, 3, and that's just the ambulance that start to the alarm that start to ring. So let's have a look at actually back at the Fog of War card and see how it works. Okay, so the car alarm of the ambulance is just ringing, attracting nearby enemies. I need to roll a simple 6-face dice to define the number of placement tokens that will move 6 inches toward the ambulance. Oh, and actually it's 6 enemy placement tokens that move towards the ambulance. So it's the 6 that are the closest to the ambulance. So first we have that one that moves towards it. We have that one that will move towards it. So that one is great. It moves away from me. They are all moving 6 inches, and it's even before the movement phase. So here, 4, 5, 6. So that's 3 of them. We also have that one here, coming closer. That one there, coming closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the number 6 will be that one. So there are a lot of enemies around that area now. So it's definitely the place that I want to avoid as much as possible. So we need to be quiet in that house. When an enemy enters a 2-inch radius of the ambulance, they will see that there is nothing around here. They can see that there is nothing. So everybody in the next turn will come back to their original state, just patrolling randomly on the board. But in that first turn, where the alarm's gone off, every other enemy on the board are on Overwatch. But yeah, I'm not close to any other enemy, so we are good to go for that turn. So let's jump onto the movement phase. So I was originally planning on getting out again with my silence weapon to take care of that token, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to just sneak inside the house and go back from the outside on the left, that area here. So first, let's enter that next room with him and also him here. When I'm entering that house, I need to roll a dive to see if there is someone inside. On a 6, there is a scav. Oh, there is a scav inside. I need to reroll that, and on another 6, this scav is in Overwatch. So he's not in Overwatch, but let's select the scav and place him in that room. So that's the scav that just spawned inside the house, so I'm going to need to take care of him in that turn. He's not moving since, he just saw me, so we are just going to enter a firefight over here. So that's for the movement for those two guys. Here Meat will interact with the desk to loot him. Here a Gator will try to loot those luggage. And we don't have anything else to loot on that side. So with Scarecrow, I'm just going to move in on that side. Just to be ready for some of the following turn. So that's the end of my movement. Now let's do the movement for all those tokens over here. I'm going to do that off screen. Okay, so that's the new position of those tokens. Now let's jump onto the combat phase. So the combat phase, I'm going to fire at that enemy scav. So I'm going to fire with... Who is in the room? We have Roach and we have Archer. I'm going to fire with, let's say with a Roach over here, equipped with that pretty sick weapon here. Actually, it has the long arm roll if moved that turn -1 to hit. So he got a -1, but you also have a laser sight, so +1, so that... Yeah, let me look at the card a bit better and I will do the roll to see what I'm doing. Okay, so you have some pretty crazy stat with that weapon. We have the automatic, the grip, and pretty cool accessory. But for this time, I'm just going to do a simple fire, because we still have that other guy that can fire in case that one miss. So I'm going to do a standard fire. Ooh, that's not good. A 1. So -1 because of the long arm, but +1 because of the laser sight. So that's... yeah, that's basically mean nothing. 1 plus a shooting stat of 5, that means that's a 6. Now rolling defense. 4, the scav have a defense of 2, that means that's a 6. So that bullet actually missed the enemy. I'm going to remove one bullet, 3, 2, 2. Okay, so that doesn't start really well. Just moving the Fog of War card. So now let's jump onto him, Archer. So for Archer, I'm actually going to do a rapid fire. 1 shot or 2 shot at -1. So I'm going to do a rapid fire. Yeah, let's grab 2 dice. I want the more chances to kill that enemy. So, a 5 and a 2. The AKMS give me long arm, -1 to move. If moved that turn, -1 to hit. So I have a -1, but +1 because of the red dot, -1 because of the rapid fire, and reroll 1 die when rapid fire. So actually I will reroll the 2 here. So that's a bit better. Okay, so we still have -1 because of the rapid fire, so I'm just going to remove 1, that's a 4, that's a 2. And he has a shooting of 6, so let's roll defense. So basically here we have a 10, and here we have an 8. So the 10, he can't beat that. Even 3, here we have a 4, so that first bullet touch him. That second bullet, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's an 8. Okay, so that second bullet kills him. So he's injured with the first bullet, and the second one kills him. So here, Archer just kill that scav. Also going to remove 2 bullets from the AKMS, switching from 6 to 4. So that's the end of the combat phase. Now let's do the looting. I'm going to loot that civilian location, and here the luggage, it's another civilian location. So, taking the dice, for the first civilian location, the desk, oh, we find something. So a black die of 5 and a 1 dice, so that's 1 junk. And for the second civilian location, 5 and 3, that's also 1 junk. Okay, so we find 2 junk. Let's grab the junk here. So we find 1 energy saving lamp and 1 duct tape. So nothing really crazy. So where it is, so we have meat with the energy saving lamp, and we have Gator with the duct tape. So that's the end of that turn. Let's jump onto the next turn. As usual, we start with a Fog of War card, so it's a 6, a 2, no Fog of War card. So now what do we want to do? Movement phase, I'm going to loot a bit more the house and get ready to move out and go towards the woods and toward that little camp. We have also 1 supply drop over here that might be interesting, we'll see. Because there are a lot of enemy around there. So yeah, let's move to the movement phase. So I just moved my team ready to loot the fridge, the desk, and the dead scav, and here we'll still have the table to loot on the next turn. So now let's jump onto the movement for the enemy. I'm going to do that off screen. So that's the new position of the enemy. That one might really have heard something because he's getting closer to me on that side. So that's the end of the movement for the enemy. Let's jump onto the looting. So I'm going to loot first the fridge, after the civilian table, and after the dead body. So let's have a look at the fridge first. So it's that table. So a 6 will find something, and a 6 and a 4. So 6 and a 4, we find 2 therapies card plus $3. So that's cool. 2 therapist card, a medical item, 2 medical item, and some dollars. Yeah, that's mostly for outside of the game. So 2 medical card for Archer. So Archer is here. So we still have enough space in this inventory to place those 2 cards. So yeah, you have a lot of medical equipment, which is great. So jumping onto the civilian, the desk, the table, a 3 and a 2, I don't found something. And after that we have the Dead Scav. So for the Dead Scav, we take a look at that card. We found 1 card from Prapor. We found that AKM with a red dot, okay. After that we have 1d3 magazine. So a 3, that means 2 magazine. So we have 2 magazine on that weapon. After that we have 1d3 therapist. So 3 cards from therapist. So 2 food and a bandage. After that 1d2 Skyer, so 1 card from Skyer. Oh, cool vest. And 1d3 junk, so 3 junk card. 1, 2, and 3. So, yeah, let's... So who looted that dead body? It's Meat over here, so that's his guy. So Meat is actually great because he is not equipped with any vest, so he's going to equip that vest right away. And I'm going to give to him all the loot, just going to check if the inventory is enough to hold up the AK. Actually, let's place the AK not in his inventory, but in his in a sling. So he's not in his inventory. And we have enough space to take everything. So let's place everything in his bag. So that's pretty good turn. Let's jump onto the next turn. Next turn we start with again a Fog of War card. So switching from 6 to 5. A 2, no Fog of War card, jumping onto the movement phase. So the movement phase, there is just that table that I can loot to find some stuff. So I will take most of my guys out and try to go towards the rear. So yeah, let's do that. End of my movement, those 2 guys are ready in case that token move in their direction. Here he will loot that table and those 2 guys didn't move. So let's roll to see what this token is moving, and let's actually hope he's joining me. I want to have a... Okay, so now he's not moving towards me, he's going back 2 inches, like here. So, going to roll for the other token and see you just after. Nothing too crazy for the movement of the enemy. Let's jump onto the looting for that guy. So, police and military location. A 4 and a 6, I found something. So, a 4 and a 6, I found 2 cards from fence. So that's great. 2 grenades on that table. So 2 cards from fence. We have 1 impact grenade and yeah, two new grenades. So that's great. Right now I'm going to leave those 2 cards in a roach, but if at some point in a turn I'm getting closer to one of my teammates, I'm going to give the grenades to some other people. So that's the end of that turn. Moving on to next turn. It starts again with a Fog of War card, so switching from 5 to 4. And it's a 5, new Fog of War card. Okay, so all clear, Charlie Mike. Back to 6. So, moving on to the movement phase. I'm not sure if I want to be greedy or not, because at some point I wanted to go here and try to face what's over here, but that might be too tough of a challenge, because there are actually 3 tokens. So yeah, let's move out toward the rear and try to go towards that camp over here. So I just move my team, let's check the enemy. I'm going to roll for that first token. Oh, whoa. That's... he will be just behind that car, so no line of sight. Let's check for the second token. Yeah, nothing for that one, and that third one here. 2 inches, yeah, just over here. So actually that's great. If they are splitting, I might want to come back on my feet and try to engage. But yeah, let's end of that turn, nothing to loot, no enemy to shoot at, they are hidden behind that car, so let's jump onto the next turn. Next turn we start with a Fog of War card again, so a 3, so nothing here. So what do we want to do here? Yeah, I want to have some gunfight, so I'm going to put my guys into position and try to face that token and see what it is. So let's move the team and I'm going to show you that just after. Okay, so I just did my movement. We just have that guy that have line of sight on that token. So let's unveil and see what it is, and let's hope it's not... Oh, again, empty. Okay, so... Damn it! I wanted some action, so nothing over here. Just... yeah. That's bad. That's a shame. But yeah, I might actually go toward Main Street and try to kill as many people as possible, but yeah. At least I didn't spend my flash grenade, because I wanted to use it, but yeah, at least it's great. I still have my stun grenade. So, end of my movement of the enemy, so going to check for that token. So 4 inches toward that other token. And yeah, let's check what the other will do and see you just after for the next turn. So nothing too crazy for the movement of the enemy. Jumping onto the Fog of War, we need to roll a 5 again, a new Fog of War card. So I like pretty much that new system. Okay, so again, nothing. I'm lucky for today. I quite like the new system where at each turn it's a bit randomized with the number when removing 1 all the time. So yeah, end of the start of the new turn. Let me try to think what's best. Okay, so ready for the action. I've moved my guys in position, ready to have a look at those 2 tokens. So we are roughly at 11 inches. So let's have a look at 11 or 12. Detection table. I detect on, actually, let's just measure it. Where is my ruler? It's actually there. Okay. So let's measure just to be sure what's the range. So that one is 11. 11, and here. Okay, so we are under the 12. So under the 12 we detect on a 3+. So we have 2 guys. So let's detect. So we have a 5. So we detect. I'm rolling for this guy. I'm rolling for the 2 tokens. So I detect the first one. With that other guy, let's try to detect the second one. And I detect both of them. Okay, so now let's have a look at the deck. So the first one, the closest to me, damn it, a level 2, a Raider Scav team, and the other one is empty. So Raider Scav. The table, let's check the table. So what do we have? We are in hard mode, 5 or more friendly unit on the board. That means that I'm using this table. So it's a level 2. Okay, we are safe. 2 Raider Scav. Going to place them on the board and see you just after. So that's the 2 Raider that just spawned on the board. So one with a shotgun, one with an SMG with some cool accessory. Let's check the direction they are facing. So they are not facing me, they are facing towards the ambulance. So I'm going to place them on the board so they don't know that I'm here right now, but I'm going to fire. So that's the end of my movement. Let's actually check if they are moving. So rolling 2 dice. Okay, so they are moving 4 inches just between the box and the trees. So 4 inches. Oh, they might actually move outside of my line of sight. So 4 inches toward that direction. So they still don't see me. I'm going to remove all of those 2. So yeah, let's do the movement for the other and see if we have line of sight on them. Okay, so I just have archer over here that have barely line of sight on the two, but just their upper body. So I'm not going to risk firing in that turn. Going to leave it like that, and we can jump onto the next turn. Next turn, we start again with a Fog of War, 6 to 5, rolling a dice, a 3, no Fog of War. So, movement phase, I'm going to try to get closer to that enemy group and try to engage them. So Archer here, he stay in Overwatch. Here we have Meat that came behind that box, ready to fire at them, and here I am also ready to fire at them. With that last guy, I will stay also in Overwatch. I have nothing else to do with that guy. And here with that one, I'm just going to move it towards that rear door in case something happen and move toward this area. So that's the end of my movement. Let's check if the enemy detected me. I'm pretty closed. So let's have a look at the table. They are militia. They will detect on since I've moved two guys in their line of sight. So let's roll 2 die. They detect on a 5+, so they detected me. So they are now alerted. They won't move following the simple dice roll. They will move following the Zablan doctrine. So, are not going in Overwatch that turn, they saw me, so let's roll 2 dice, a 5 and a 6, so it's here, flank, move and sprint. Flank, move and sprint, so indirect pass, move around terrain or cover, if no line of sight to enemy, sprint. Okay, so, if they wanted to flank me, they would probably move towards here, try to flank me there. Because here they will clearly have no cover, so yeah, that's probably the best bet. And actually, they can move 6 inches, and they should normally arrive roughly over here, but since I am here, they won't be in cover, so they will stop behind those two things. But before that, the first one, when it will start moving, it will unlock like the Overwatch from Archer. So let's fire with Archer first. So Archer will fire 1 shot at -1 because of the Overwatch. So -1 because of the Overwatch. He didn't move, so no malus because of the long arm. He have a red dot, so +1. He's not doing a rapid fire, so standard fire. So 1 + 1 of the red dot, that's a 2. Plus a shooting stat of 6, that's an 8. Rolling defense for the Raider Scav. A 2 plus a defense of 2, that's a 4. You also have a body armor, but that's for the lethality check. So, I basically touch him. Now checking lethality. Removing 1 bullet first. With the AK, it's lethal on a 4+. It's not lethal, checking casualty, it's a 6, so it's a terrible wound, and he can't do anything. So basically, this guy started to move, and he was shot, and he's injured, but yeah, he can't do anything else. And that one managed to go here. So, that's the end of the movement for the enemy. Jumping on to the combat phase. The combat phase with Meat. I will just fire at that guy. Meat is equipped with the MP7A2. He will do an automatic fire, so 3 shots at -2 to hit. So that will remove 3 ammo from the MP7. So 3 shots at -2, but +2 because of compact plus red dot sight. So that basically cancels everything. So I'm doing 3 shots. Let's grab some dice. 3 shots. A 4, and a 3. So, a 4, and a 3. You have a shooting stat of 4. So here we have 8, 8, and 7. Rolling the defense on the 8. You have a defense of... Oh, I'm off screen. You have a defense of 2 plus 3, that's a 5. So that one touched him, rolling defense on the other. That one touched him too, so the first one touched him, the second one kills him. So even though he was in cover, that was not sufficient, he is killed. Okay, so that's good. End of the combat phase. We can jump on to the next turn. Next turn, Fog of War, 5 to 4. A 6, so new Fog of War card. Tip it off. D6 of the closest enemy placement token move in your direction. This doesn't count as part of their movement. They can still move in their movement phase. Okay, so that's bad. That's very, very bad. Meaning that D6, let's check how many. Oh, okay, so just one, and the closest enemy placement token from my group is that one, and this one moves 6 inches towards me. Probably he heard some of the gunfight happening here. And let's actually check where he will go. So, on a 1, 2, 3, he will go main road, and on 4, 5, 6, he will enter over here. So 1, 2, 3, it will go main road. So he clearly heard something going on with the firefight. So 6. So he's just arriving over here. So he's just arriving over here, so he actually may see my guys. So let's check the range. So here we are 9 inches. 9 inches detection. 9 inches militia, 9 inches, he detects on a 5+. It's a 1, it doesn't detect me for now. We can now jump onto the movement phase. So, those two guys here entered Overwatch. This guy moved just basically turning to face that token, and here Roach move also toward here. It doesn't have line of sight, but if this one is moving, he will be able to engage. Or actually, let's just move it over here, so he actually have line of sight. That will be better indeed. So that's the end of my movement. Let's check for this enemy token. Looking at what happened, I will assume that he will keep moving in that direction. So let's actually unveil what it is and base the action on that. So it's a level 3, it's a group of enemy PMC. Okay, so that will be really cool. So let's roll a die. Oh my god. Okay, so 5 PMC just arrived on the board. Oh my god. So let's place them. Let's select them. I'm going to be using those guys here. So that's the PMC. I'm going to randomly select them and yeah, place them on the board. So that's the group of enemy of PMC that just spawned on the board. And that's probably, that's the worst roll you can draw, because it's like that one. It's really like the worst type of enemy that can spawn on the worst table. So here we have up front an SMG, we have assault rifle, we have 3 assault rifle and 1 sniper on the back. So I'm assuming that they heard the gunshot, they heard something happening, so they run or they just advance in that direction. And now it was their movement phase, so I'm going to use the Zablan doctrine to check their action. So it's their first turn. I'm going to use the 2 dice to define what they are going to do. A 1 on the black, and on the white a 5, so it's a careful move and shoot, careful, it's maximize use of cover. So they just arrive here, so if they want to maximize use of cover, that's a tough one. Can they advance and go in cover behind those crates? So this one can. So the first 2 one here, they might come over here, that's a bit tough to say. So here, the sniper will definitely stay on in cover, just on the corner. So here, what I'm going to do, those 2 on the back, they will move on the back and stay in cover of the ambulance. Those 2 are just going to get closer to the ambulance. But first, that one will move towards just getting closer to the ambulance. That will unlock the Overwatch for my 2 guys. So I'm going first with Gator here. Gator is here, is equipped with the Colt M4. So he will do a standard fire. So let's do a standard fire. A 4. -1 because of the Overwatch, so that's a 3. Let me just check the range, if it's within the first range interval of the Colt M4. So it's within the first interval of the call, so it have the compact +1 in first range interval. So we're switching back to 4. So 4 plus a shooting stat of 5, that's a 9. Checking defense now, we have a 9 against a 1, +1 in defense, that's a 2. Yeah, no bonus for the Raider Scav, that means that the bullet touch him. Checking now lethality. The M4 is lethal on a 4+. It's a 2, it's not lethal. And actually also have a body armor, so it will be a 1, so definitely not lethal. Checking casualty. It's a 4, so it's a pretty bad wound. Let me check the table. Okay, a 4 serious wound. The model is injured and begins to bleed out and will die in 5 turns. So he's bleeding out, may continue to fire a sidearm if they have one, may crawl. So the PMC have a sidearm, they have a pistol, so he will be able to fire with a pistol, but he's basically crawling and will die in 5 turns. Let me just take a bleed out token and a dice. Okay, so that one will die in 5 turns, but can fire with his pistol. Now that second one here will move, getting closer to the ambulance to try to take over. That will also unlock the overwatch from that other guy, Archer. Archer is here, he will do again, like Gator, he will do a standard fire at -1, so 5 -1, that's a 4. He didn't move, so no maluses of the long arm. He have a red dot, so +1. So back on 5. No worry for the rapid fire or the grip. So we are at 5, plus a shooting stat of 6, so that's huge. That's 11, rolling on defense. A 2, so I touch him, now checking lethality. Lethal on a 4+, but he have a body armor, so 5+. Ah, damn it, so close. So it's not lethal, now checking casualty, 5, yes! It's a really bad wound. So 5, 6, catastrophic wound, the model is instantly unconscious and will die in 3 turns. So let's grab that. So that second one is also in a pretty bad situation right away, which is super great. The second one will die in 3 turns. Okay, so that's cool. That's the end of the... No, that's not the end of the movement. So now, let's check what they will do. So this one... Maximize use of cover. So we will come... 4, 5, 6... So this one will try to flank, coming on that side. This turn, it doesn't have... Like, he will just come behind that tree. That one will come behind that... ambulance. He will be in cover of the ambulance, and we have the sniper here on the left. So that's the end of the movement for the enemy. Now we are going to switch to the combat phase. So combat phase, I have the initiative. I'm going to fire with Meat against the sniper. The sniper was in cover for those two guys, but for Meat, he's not really in cover, so that's great. Meat is equipped with that HKMP7, so that's great. Let me check the range of that sniper. So he's just outside the first range interval of the MP7, which is pretty bad. So instead of firing with Meat first, let's fire with that guy, Roach. He also have a clear line of sight on him, so let's fire with Roach. Roach is equipped with that AK-74. He will actually fire in automatic, up to 3 shots at -2 to hit. So yeah, let's fire in automatic with Roach and see what we can do. So 3 dice. Okay, a 5, a 3, and a 2. When firing in automatic, I have a grip. I can reroll 1 die, so I'm going to reroll the 2. And 3, a bit better. Those 3 dice, since I'm firing in automatic, receive a -2 to hit. So switching 5 to 3, and the 2, 3 become 1. Okay. So now what else we have? We have laser sight, +1 in first range interval, which is great. So adding back, adding 1. So it's not clearly mathematic what I'm doing, but it's just to better remember. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, so that's the stat I have for my 3 dice, plus the shooting stat. So a 5, so that's a 7, and that's 2 6. 1 7 and 2 6. So let's roll for defense now. For the 7 first, a 1, that first bullet touch him. For the 6, a 4 plus defense of 2, that one miss him. For the second 6, oh, and that one also miss him. So now let's check lethality for the only bullet that touch him. 5. Oh, that's cool. That AK is lethal on a 4+, but because the Raider Scav by default have, because PMC have body armor, it become a 5+, and that's a 5. That means that I kill him right away. Okay, that's... Oh, I'm getting lucky this game. So here, this guy is directly killed. So now, let's check Meat. Meat is here. Meat have line of sight, but barely on that one over here. So he will try to fire at him at a -2 to hit. Let's check the range again. Now he's firing at another target. He might be... Okay, so it's still outside of the range of the MP7. What should I do? That will be a tough one. Let's fire 3 bullets. Oh, actually, I fire 3 bullets with that one, so removing 2 and removing 1 on that. And I also fire with that one in Overwatch. So we have 2, and we fire also that one. Okay. So I'm going to fire 3 bullets with that one. So 3 bullets in automatic. Automatic mean -2. Okay, I'm lucky. 5, 5, and 3. I don't have any bonus because of the compact and the red dot, because I'm outside of the range of that. So because of the automatic -2, and because I'm outside of the range, it's a -3. So -3, so here we have 2, 2, 2, and that's basically a 0. You have a shooting stat of 4, so here we have 6, 6, and a 4. So let's roll defense on the 6. That one missed him. Let's roll defense on the second 6. Oh damn, that one also missed him, and that's roll defense on that one is just a 4. And that one also missed him, so I completely miss all the shot from mid toward that guy over here. So that's pretty much it. Trying to think at something else. No, I fire with my 4 guy, now it's the turn, the enemy turn. So, for the enemies, the guy that I just shot at will fire at Meat. Will fire back at the guy that just fired at him. So, he's equipped with an MK18, so a carbine that have the rapid fire rule. So let's check what this guy is doing. On a 1, 2, 3 it will be a standard fire, and on a 4, 5, 6 it will be a rapid fire. So let's do a rapid fire, a 3 and a 3 at -1, so basically that's 2, 2. Let's check the equipment he have on his weapon. Okay, so he have that laser sight on front and an ECOG, which is the ECOG is a 4x scope. So no bonus from the ECOG, but +1 because of the laser sight. So a +1 on those 2, 2, that's becoming switching back to 3. You have a shooting stat of 5. So we have 2, 8. Oh, that's bad. We have 2, 8. I'm in cover behind those crates, so I'm getting a +2 in defense. So let's roll defense. 5, 6, 7, plus the crate 8, 9. So that one missed me. Rolling defense on the second shot. Oh, I'm lucky, I'm lucky. Defense of 2. +4, that's 6. Plus the crate 7, 8. That's an 8. and it needs to be higher. So that two shot miss me. Okay, so that's perfect. The two shot miss me. Now we have that PMC here. That PMC will fire at... Let's check who here is who is in target. So that one is a bit too is a bit hidden behind the crate, so we will fire at Archer, which is in cover behind that car. So a -2 again in shooting. So he is equipped with, let's check this one, with a carbine with a laser and a red dot this time. So +2. So +2. So 1, 2, 3 standard fire. This one will do a standard fire, so a name shot. So let's do the shot. A 4, +2 of his accessory, but -2 because I'm in cover behind the car. So that's a 4 plus the shooting stat of 5, that's a 9. Let's roll defense. Oh, yes! So 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8. Actually, that's not enough. I have a defense of 6, plus the defense of 2, that's 8. Okay, that's not enough. That bullet actually touched me. Damn, he's good at aiming that one. Oh, damn it. Okay, so he touched me. Now checking lethality. He is equipped with a carbine that have a lethality of 4+. It's not lethal. Let's check now casualty. For the casualty, I need to pick my medical table over here. I will pick my 20 face dice and let's roll it. A 16, which is, oh, that's very bad. It's a heavy wound in the upper torso. Oh, actually, just checking, Archer is equipped with a body armor. On torso wound, -1 on casualty roll. So that's great. That means that instead of a 16, it switched to a 15, which is still a bad wound. Serious wound on the upper torso. I'm stunned for 2 turns and I have -2 to all stats. So that's still pretty bad, but yeah, better that. So let's place down that on my soldier board. Okay, so Archer is injured, serious wound on the upper torso. Let's roll a die to see if the armor is destroyed. It's destroyed on a 3+. So the armor is not destroyed, which is great, so it can sustain another shot. Now, on torso wound, 1 random item is destroyed from my vest. So I have 4 items here plus 2 magazines. So we'll give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's roll a die, and it's a 3. So it's actually my Golden Star Born. So let me remove that card from my inventory. That card, when he fires at me, I have that Golden Born inside one of my pocket, and this item is destroyed. I'm just going to throw it away. Okay, so not too bad for that turn. The enemy can't shoot anymore. We are done with that turn. We can jump onto the next turn. Next turn, start again with a Fog of War card, switching it to 5. Let's roll that. A 2, so no Fog of War that turn. So, what are we going to do? Those 2 here are probably going to stay in Overwatch in case those one move. That one might also enter Overwatch. Yeah, that's a bit tough. Yeah, I'm going to leave those 2 guys here in Overwatch. I'm going to place that one in Overwatch too. Now let's check if the enemy is going in Overwatch. They go in Overwatch on a 5+. Oh, a 6. Okay, so they enter Overwatch. So both of them are in Overwatch. So I have 3 of my guys in Overwatch, and I'm going to just move that one. And that might trigger the Overwatch. We'll see where I'm going with that one. So, end of the command phase, jumping onto the movement phase. And let me think of what I want to do. Okay, so end of my movement. Here I just move Scarecrow to look on that side if one of them come back later. And here, Roach, I just move it back so he can toss some grenade at them in the following turn, because if you remember, Roach have a lot of grenade on him that we looted in the house, plus the one he started with. So that's the end of my movement. Those guys are in Overwatch, they won't move that turn. So next, what I'm going to do is actually, there was a big gunfight around that area. And what I'm going to do is define, it's some custom rule I've created for solo play. I'm going to roll a die that will define the number of placement tokens that will move towards the gunfight. And that's a 5. That means, that's a lot of placement token. 5 placement token will move toward the gunfight. The remainder will stay in Overwatch. So we have 1, 2, we have 3, we have 4, and number 5th is which one will be? Might be the one just over here. So that's those 5 tokens will move 5 inches toward the gunfight. And actually, since those two are pretty close, I'm going to unveil them, because if it's some scavs, the scavs are not friendly with those PMC, so they will try to engage those PMC. So let's draw one card from this group, and after that I'm going to draw one card for that token. So in order, the first one, it's some scav, and the second one is another group of PMC, damn it! That means that, oh, let's first roll for the first group of scav. Whoop, and a 5. A 5. 3 scavs plus 1 scav with shotgun, so that's pretty bad. And the PMC, we have 2 PMC. So let's place that on the board and see what will happen. Okay, so that's the two groups that just spawned. So here we have 4 scav with 1 shotgun here with the red bag, and here we have just 2 PMC that are sneaking on that group of scav. So first off, they just hear the gunfight, they are moving towards that gunfight. But first, I'm going to check if that group of PMC is friendly or not with that one here. So let me grab a die, and let's say that on a 1, 2, 3, that group is friendly with the other PMC, and on a 4, 5, 6, that group will be not friendly. And on a 2, that means that that group of PMC is friendly with that, so more PMC to take care of. So now let's check what this group of scav will do. So this group of scav will act following the Zablan doctrine. So white, black and white dice. A 4 and a 2, a 4 and a 3. Reckless, move and shoot. Reckless, maximum movement, disregard, cover. So basically they will just move towards the gunfight in the middle of the street. So how do you look at that? Okay, 6. Okay, so they just arrive near that UAZ. That group over here, let's check what this PMC group will do. Same thing here, a 2 and a 4, a 2 and a 4, hold and shoot. Okay, so that's cool. That means that they will stay in the woods area, that will give them basically like a +1 in defense, and they will shoot at that group of scav that just advance. And that's also probably what I'm going to do with my PMC here. I'm just going to fire at that first scav there. Okay, so that's the movement for that group, that one. Let's move now the other token 6 inches, so something like that. This one will move also here, and we also have that one that will just arrive roughly there. So that's a lot of movement, and that's a lot of enemy on the board. Let's jump onto the combat phase now. Combat phase, I have the initiative. Those 2 guys are in Overwatch. This one too, but I can break the Overwatch and fire as a regular fire. First thing I'm going to do is toss a grenade. So here, I actually just saw that group of scav, but that group of PMC is way more dangerous. So I'm going to throw one of my grenades. So I have 3 different grenades on me. Oh, let's check what we have. So we have 2 RGN, we have 3 RGN, so that's the same grenades. Let me have back. Let me check again the rule for throwing grenades. Okay, so when throwing grenades, I'm going to throw it just between the 2 soldiers over here. I need to reach a score of 8 So I have a shooting of 5. I need at least a 3. And that's a 3. Okay, perfect. So my grenade lands exactly where I want it, which is just here. Just between the two. So, the grenade, what do we have? Frag 3 inches and inner kill radius of 1. So, I think that the one just close to... Yeah, the one next to the ambulance will get automatically killed by that grenade, which is super great. That one is not killed automatically, it kills on a 4+. So let's check lethality. He's equipped with a body armor, that PMC, so a 5+. And that's a 1, so he's not killed by that. What happened then? Then he's injured. So let's check the casualty. So casualty table. 4. Oh my god. 4. Serious wound. The model is injured and begins to bleed out. So that's perfect. So this guy is injured. He begins to bleed out. And just grabbing... I don't have any more dice. Oh, wait one. Okay, begin to bleed out and die in 3 turns. And I will throw away that RGN grenade since I've just used it. So that's it for this guy. So now, with my... So let's check what... So here, that meat here, just trying to see... Meat here can only see that scav, and it's same for Scarecrow. I'm going to fire first with meat, and leave Scarecrow just here, and not fire with him, so they won't know that I'm located right here, right now. So let's fire with meat. Oh man. And I can't fire with meat because I don't have any more ammo in my MP7. Do I have a grenade on me? Do I have a grenade on this guy? Okay, so food, a lot of food. And I only have a stun grenade. Okay, that's very bad. That means that I can't fire that turn. Damn, I completely forget to reload. Actually, when I found the AKM, I found 3 magazines with it, so one is loaded in the magazine. It's not the correct color, let me grab the correct color. So yeah, if you remember correctly, I looted that AKM just earlier, so that means I can switch to that AKM. When I'm switching to a secondary weapon, which is not compact, I'm getting a -3 to shoot, so it's very bad, but I don't have much of a choice. So let's jump onto our secondary weapon here. I'm going to roll 1 die. It's a 6, so that's good. -3 because I'm switching to that weapon, so that's basically a 3. +1 because of the red dot sight, so that's a 4. And actually I can do a rapid fire. I will do a rapid fire. So rapid fire, a 2, -3. That's... -3 + 1, so that's basically a 0. So here, I will roll the defense now. Blue dice. Defense, on here we have a 4 plus a shooting stat of 4, that's an 8. So 3, it's a scav with a defense of 2, so that first bullet touch him. Checking for the second shot. The second shot was basically a 0 on a die, so just a shooting stat of 4, that's... And that one missed him, so only 1 bullet touched him. Checking lethality, lethal on a 4+. Not lethal, checking casualty on that table. 5, it's a catastrophic wound and the enemy is instantly unconscious. So this one is instantly unconscious. Okay, so we don't have any more enemy in line of sight at the moment, which is great. So he throw a grenade, he fire at that enemy. Those 2 enemies can't fire. Oh, actually, here I have 1 enemy with a pistol that can still shoot. So with Gator here, where is Gator? Gator, he will do a standard fire with his M4. A 2 plus shooting stat of 4, that's a 6, plus 1 of the compact, that's a 7. Let's roll defense on a 7. 3, it's a PMC with a defense of 2. So that bullet touched him. And since he was already injured, he's automatically killed. So he's not bleeding out anymore, he's automatically killed. So he's killed, he's bleeding out, can't do anything, he's bleeding out, can't do anything, and those two are also killed. So that's the end of my combat phase. I'm not doing anything else. So now we are switching to the enemy combat phase. Let's see who will do something first. 1, 2, 3, it's the Scav, and 4, 5, 6, it's the PMC. So it's the Scav. The Scav are located over here, and actually, they don't see me. They are not aware of the presence of the PMC here, so they actually can't fire anything. So I'm going to switch to the 2 PMC that are on the back. They will fire at those that group of Scav. Since we have that tree that is blocking the view, I will give the Scav a +2 in defense. And yeah, I will just, since I'm not involving my team, I'm just going to film, not film that, and just give you a explain you what happened just after. Okay, so here's what happened. The first Scav here has been killed, that second one is injured and will die in 5 turns, and since he doesn't have any secondary, he can't do anything, he's just crying, and yeah, he can crawl, but that's it. So, that was a bloody turn, but that's the end of it right now, so we can move to the next turn. Next turn, we start with a Fog of War, so switching from 5 to 4. Let's hope nothing crazy happen. It's a 1. Okay, cool. Jumping onto the initiative phase. Initiative phase, this guy here will switch to Overwatch. Meat is here. He fires 2 bullets. He only have 1 bullet left, so he won't go in Overwatch. Meat will reload. So I'm going to have Roach him here. So Roach, with his AK-74, he will enter Overwatch. So let's actually place. So here, we have 1 Overwatch and 1 Overwatch also here. And for those 2, I'm not going to place them in Overwatch. So now let's check for that Scav here. So he will enter Overwatch on a 5+. A 6, so this guy is entering Overwatch. To be honest, that's a bit weird because he has just been shot at by the back and by the front. It will be a bit weird to stay in Overwatch in the open. Yeah, just for the sake of making something a bit more realistic, I'm going to throw and see his action on that table. A 4 and a 3, a 4 and a 3, reckless, move and shoot. Okay, so let's grab a die. So reckless, he just saw all his guys killed in front of me, all his bodies. So on a 1, 2, 3, he will be reckless moving in my direction, and on a 4, 5, 6, he will be reckless moving in the direction of the PMC group here. A 5, so he will move towards the PMC group. I didn't check if that PMC group want to enter Overwatch, so actually, yeah, I'm mixing things a bit up here. Because the movement here is done in the movement phase, and here I'm just checking, I'm in the command phase, checking if we have Overwatch, so yeah, he will move a bit later. I'm going to check if the PMC enter Overwatch. So for the PMC, a 5, so they enter Overwatch. So this group here is entering Overwatch, and this guy, I just roll that he will move toward them, so it will trigger their Overwatch, but that will be done a bit later. So that's the end of the command phase. We can jump onto the movement phase. So, movement phase. Gator here, he will move, taking the ruler, he will move 6 inches toward that car because I saw there is a military crate over here and he wants to loot that. Here, Archer, I will try to get him closer to Scarecrow, so we'll move 6 inches in that direction. Meet him here will reload his weapon. So Meet, he will put a new magazine on the MP7, so 6 magazine on the MP7. So here we are Scarecrow in Overwatch, he won't do anything. Archer, actually Archer will reload also, he just move. So let's place the 2 magazine back in the inventory and place a new full magazine in the AKMS. I'm also going to do that with Gator. Gator is here, he will just put a new magazine back in the M4. So, yeah, that's it for me that turn. We are jumping onto the next, the movement phase of the enemy. So as we said before, that Scav, he just saw all the guys kill in front of me and he's just moving recklessly in front of the PMC here on the back, and it will trigger the overwatch of the PMC, starting with the one on the left, equipped with an MK18. So he will do one shot, 4, -1 of the overwatch, but he's equipped with a laser sight, so that's a 4, plus a shooting stat of 5, that's a 9. Checking defense on the Scav, 6, 7, 8, and that's not enough. That means that the bullet touch him, lethality on a 4+, and it kills him. So the Scav here has just been killed by the PMC. So that's the end of the movement for the enemy Scavs. The enemy PMC won't move. So now let's actually unveil that token, because if it's a group of Scav, they will move towards the group of PMC in the woods. So let's draw one card, and it's actually some Raider Scav, and the Raider Scav are friendly to the Scav, so they will move and try to engage the a tree. A tree, we have 4 Raider Scav, which is pretty bad for the PMC, not for me for now. So let's place them. Okay, so that's the group of Raider that just spawned on the board. I'm going to check what they are doing. So, taking the Zablan Doctrine, a 6 and a 4, a 6 and a 4, flank, move, and sprint. Flank, indirect pass, move around turn of cover, and if no line of sight, sprint. So let's say they want to flank this group of PMC. Since they are looking that way, they're probably going to flank on the opposite side here. So let's move this group of Raider. Okay, so the group of Raider just move here for now, and they don't have line of sight because of all those pine trees, so they are going to flank and they are going to run, so they won't be able to fire that turn. Going to flank and place them basically behind the movable portable toilet. It's a bit hard to see with all the foliage, but here are my the group of Raider Scav that just sneak behind the PMC. The PMC was on Overwatch, so they can't fire at them that turn, but they also run, the Raider run, so they also can't fire that turn. So that's basically the end of that turn, no combat phase for any enemies. Let's jump onto the next turn. Next turn we start with a Fog of War card, so 3, rolling a die, and a 2, no Fog of War card, cool. So let's have a look at what we can do, and yeah, let me move my team and I will see what happens. Okay, so end of my movement phase, I move closer to that military box, move closer to that dead body, just probably here, to be closer to those box for cover. Moving towards the ambulance to loot that dead body, and here I just run with Archer to get closer to Scarecrow. So that's it for my movement. Now let's check the group of PMC. So they won't enter Overwatch since I have a group of enemies just behind them. So let's check their action. A 3 and a 3. Reckless move and shoot. Reckless, maximize movement, disregard cover. So disregard cover. So they just have that group of enemies that arrive behind them. They will, if they disregard cover, they will just basically turn and try to face them that way. And for the group of Raider Scav, I'm going to roll to define their action. A 6 and a 4, a 6 and a 4, flank, move and sprint again. No, reckless, tactical and shoot. Reckless, maximize movement, disregard cover. So they are actually in a pretty good spot. They have line of sight on the 2 PMC, so they just, yeah, they are not in cover, they just won't move that turn. Other than that, we have some other group that will just move closer to the gunfight. So this one, we have one here that will also move 6 inches. We have one here that heard the gunfight happening here, so we will move 6 inches behind the house. We have some other token on that part of the board that will start to move also, probably toward the gunfight, so here. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the movement. Now we can jump onto the combat phase. I don't have any enemy to fire at, so I'm going to focus on the looting. Let's first loot that military box here. So, taking that 2 dice, a 6 and a 3, a 6 and a 3, 1 card from Skyer. Okay, so that's cool. 1 card from Skyer. We have a cool vest. That's for Gator. Gator already had a cool vest, so I will try to give that to someone else. Now we have Roach that is looting that Raider Scav. So Raider Scav, the Raider Scav is equipped with 1 card from Jaeger. Ooh, cool! An APB silence pistol. Is equipped with 1, so only 1 magazine comes with it. After that, he have 1d4 Therapist, so 4 cards from Therapist. Okay, so a lot of cards. After that, he's equipped with 1d2 Ragman, a 2, so 1 card from Ragman, a cool body armor, and some junk, and 4 junk. So that's a lot of junk. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that's all the loot he found on that dead body. I'm going to do the same with Meat. On here is looting an enemy PMC, which have even better loot. So 1 card from Mechanic. So here we go. A cool M4A1 with a drum mag, can fire in automatic, compact red outside, that's huge. With that come how many mags? A 3, that means 3 magazine. 3 magazine of 8 bullets, that's huge. Okay, so let's place the magazine here. What else? 1 card from Jaeger. Ho ho! And a DMR with also 4 magazines with the DMR, so that's also huge. Let me grab the ammunition. So 4 magazines for the DMR. What else? 1 card from Fence, so 1 grenades, 1 stun grenade, cool. What else? We have PMC, so 1d4 Therapist. A 2, that means 2 cards. That means, yeah, 2 cards from Therapist. After that, 1d3 Peacekeeper. A 3, that means 2 cards from Peacekeeper. Oh, yes, yes, yes. 2 huge backpack. Tactical Beta 2 and the Terminator Eberslock. Okay, so perfect. And some junk, so 1d6 junk and since 6 junk. Okay, so if it was a mission happening during a campaign, I'm rich. I'm rich in that turn, really. I found so many loot on those 2 dead bodies. So that's what I found on those 2 dead bodies. I'm going to just do a bit of inventory management and I will catch you guys just after. Okay, so for Meat, I just equipped the Terminator backpack. I throw away my tactical sling and I also throw away my old AK. I'm going to throw that, and I have put in my backpack the DMR and I equipped the Colt M4A1. I'm currently equipping that in my hand. So now let's do the same for Roach over here. So unfortunately, Roach doesn't have any backpack, so he can't equip everything he found. So I just equipped the APB as a sidearm. That's all his inventory. His inventory is completely full. To mark what is on the battlefield, I've left 1 die. So here on the 1, I have 1 backpack that I can still take. And here on that 1, I have a lot of things. So with Roach, I will try to go to that dice to grab the backpack and come back on that dead body to take everything I have looted, if I have time, because I just saw that we have 2 tokens coming in close. So that's the end of the loot. Let's jump on to next turn. Don't start with a Fog of War card. So a 2, a 2, and a 4. So we have a new Fog of War card. Fog of War, enemy movement. Remove one card from the enemy force deck and remove randomly one placement token. Okay, so that's great. One less enemy to worry about. So for that, let me see all the placement token locations. So we have 2 here. We have 1 here behind here, the house. And we have 1 here, we have probably 1 in front of the house here, and we probably have also 1 in the small camp behind the big rocks. Yeah, 1 in the camps. So let's give number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yes! It's one of those 2 here. So that's cool. So yeah, and I also need to remove 1 card, and actually it was an empty card, so that's a shame. So that's it for the Fog of War, jumping onto the turn. Starting with command phase, I don't have any Overwatch, so we can jump onto the movement phase. Movement phase, Gator here. Actually, Gator, I have some space to loot some stuff, so I will move towards that one here. 6 inches, roughly. Let me check if that's indeed 6 inches. Oh, that's a bit less, so I won't be able to loot him that turn, so I arrive roughly over here. And I actually have line of sight on that token. So let's check if I detect it. So, detection, professional, 6 and 12, I detect on a 3+. Okay, so yeah, let's reroll that one. So 1, I don't detect it. And let's see if he detects me. He would detect me on a 5+. So it doesn't detect me either. So for the rest of the movement, I'm going to move Roach toward here to grab the backpack. But since he's moving in line of sight on that token, I'm also going to reroll for detection. On a 5+, so it's a 1, so that enemy group also don't detect me. Now for Meat. Meat, what Meat can do is fully loaded with stuff, like look at how many ammunition magazine he have, and that's all the cards in his inventory. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, let me pause and think of what I want to do. So end of my movement, I really have enough loot and I don't want to risk anything. So with my 2 guys, I run toward that direction. I'm going to gather here and run toward that side of the board. I just move Meat here, line of sight on that placement token. He will detect on a 3+, so 4, he will detect what's here. So what do we have here? Empty, perfect. So nothing is moving closer to us on that side. So we are good here, jumping onto, yeah, no more movement for me. Jumping onto the combat phase. For the combat phase, I have nothing to combat. I will just take the, whoop, it's here. I will loot and grab the backpack. And I will equip the backpack on Roach. So that's done. Let's jump onto the next turn. The combat phase actually for the enemies. So I run out of battery, so I'm recording that like a couple of hours later. I did the combat phase for the PMC and the Raider Scav. The Raider Scav won the initiative, so they started first, and I have 4 guns against those 2 PMC, so those 2 PMC were killed. So that's the end of that turn. I'm jumping on to the next turn. I'm trying to be a bit fast because I'm not sure how long is that video yet, but that's pretty long, I'm sure. So here, oh, a 6 new Fog of War card. Oh, okay, what do we have here? Multiple group of scav enter the area from a random table edge. Roll to determine point of entry. Place D3 level 1 enemy groups. Okay, so roll to determine point of entry. So a 1 it will be here, a 2 it will be here, a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6 it will be here. So let's roll that. A tree. Oh, damn it. They just enter by the hole in the woods area where there were nobody and where I was planning to move through. So that's bad. Okay, so how many scav are we talking about? So level 1, I need to roll a D3, right? Let me check the card. So it's D3 level 1 enemy group. So how many? 6, so 3 enemies. 3 level 1. So a 3 that's 1 scav, a 6 that's 1 scav and 1 sniper, and a 4 that's... Okay, so we have 3 scav plus 1 sniper. The sniper actually spawn on top of the highest point near the entry, so it will be actually here. So we have 1 sniper scav that arrive here, and that can fire at any of my soldiers, so that's perfect. Let's place that on the board. So that's the sniper scav, and down here we have the 3 other scav that just enter the board. So let's jump onto the... I'm just going to roll if the sniper detect my team here and my team there. Let's assume he did. So in the combat phase he will be firing at him. So yeah, it's in a really perfect vantage point, so let's assume he spotted my team. So jumping onto my movement phase. End of my movement phase, I've moved those 4 guys ready to shoot at the sniper, and this guy will loot the one. The one is everything here, so I'm just going to place everything in Gator, because Gator have a large backpack and the large azimuth restrict, so we have enough space for that. So that's the end for that. So the looting should be done in the combat phase, but no combat will happen on that side. So now I'm jumping to the movement of the enemy. The Raider scav here will move 6 inches toward actually that area, since they remember that there were a gunfight over here. And that group of scav will also move toward the last heard gunshot, which was around here, so probably that the group of scav here will move toward there, following just behind. So let's move the scav roughly 6 inches, and I will move the raider scav, and we can jump onto the combat phase. So I just moved the raider scav in the middle of the road, and here I will take care now of that sniper. So I have those 2 guys that have line of sight of him, and here we also have Archer that can just see basically his head. So let's try first with those 2 here. Combat phase, I will start with Roach. Roach with his AK-74. He can do an automatic fire. He will actually do that. He will do an automatic fire. Let me grab some dice for that. So automatic fire, 3 shots. Oh, let me... yeah. Damn it. Not enough space, always. So, 3 shots at -2, we have a 6, a 5, and a 1. When automatic, since he have a grip, he can do... he can reroll, so I will reroll the 1. It's a 4, so way better. I have laser sight, +1 in first range interval, that's perfect. And it's the first range. Let me check the range. So it's indeed the first range interval, so it's... +1 with the laser, -2 because of the automatic, so that's basically just a -1. You have a shooting stat of 5, so here we have 5 plus... oh, so let's just remove the 1, so 5, 4, and 3. Rolling for the defense on the 5, which is a 10 when you add the shooting stat. So that one hit him, that one also hit him, so that second one kill him. So I just kill that sniper here with Roach. So end of the combat phase, no other enemy to fire at, nothing else to loot. Let's jump onto, yeah, no more combat. Let's jump onto the next turn. Next turn, Fog of War, rolling only a 6, so no Fog of War. I will try to be a bit quicker, because I know that this video is long, so let's move the team. End of my movement, nothing else to do. That group of scav will move toward here, that other group of scav will move toward the gunshot. Let's jump onto the movement and the next turn. End of the movement for the scav and the raiders. jumping onto the next turn. A 3, no Fog of War. So yeah, I will move my guys and show you that just after. So just stacking all my gun here, Scarecrow is in the woods over here. I will let that team pass and yeah, jumping on the movement for the enemies. End of movement for the enemy, new turn, coming back to the Fog of War, 4, 6, new Fog of War. Fog of War malfunction. During the combat phase of this turn, select randomly one of your model. This model can't fire his primary weapon this turn. Okay, so that's a funny thing. So if I enter a gunfight here, one of my guy won't be able to fire that turn and I will need to randomly select it. But I'm not expecting any firing that turn, so that's great. So, jumping on my movement, let's move my team. So, I just move my team in the woods over here. Now the enemy reach where the gunfight happened, so now, starting now, they will move following the... where is my scatter dice? Okay, so for that team over here, they will move 1 inches where they came from, so they are just starting to investigate the area, checking what's happened. And I will do the same for this team over here, so let's pray they are not coming back on their feet, so no. They are moving 4 inches towards, like following the road, which is good. So that's the end of the movement. Let's jump onto the next turn. Next turn, Fog of War, rolling 1 dice, it's not a 6. We are good here. So let's move my team. So here I will just loot that military box while the team is here. And what do we find in it? A 3 and a 5, a 3 and a 5, 1 Prapor plus 2 magazines. So 1 weapon from Prapor, which is a Saiga, plus 2 magazines with it, plus D2... No, plus 2 magazine. Okay, so that's for... Actually, I can equip right away, taking 2 magazine of 5 ammunition and 5 in the pockets. So I will just skip a couple of turns. Actually, I will do them, probably not going to film them until something crazy happen. And yeah, let's jump a couple of turns. So the team is getting closer to the extract. They're entering that small military camp. They just have line of sight on that placement token. I draw the card and it was actually an empty card, so nothing here, but we still have one there that we might be able to see next turn. So in the meantime, that team here is coming back where they came from, and the Raider Scav is moving down that road. So let's see what happened next. On the next turn, the team moved behind those barricades. They have line of sight on the token, so I'm just going to draw 1 card to see what it is. Enemy level 1 card, so what do we have here? Enemy level 1. A 1, so perfect, just a single scav. That guy with that FAL will be perfect. So, where he is? He is here. So, let's look at the direction he's facing. And he's facing roughly toward the extract. And let's say that he may have saw my guy, so on a 6, he saw my guy, so he didn't saw me. So we are good here. Jumping on, actually let's jump on the combat phase. I'm going to fire at him with who he... Here I just forget to remove some ammunition, so we have only 2 bullets left in the AK. So, targeting with him, doing a shot with rapid fire, 2 bullets, 6 and 2. I can reroll 1 shot since I have a grip. So 2, 6, perfect. +1 with the red dot, just getting closer to the weapon. +1 with the red dot, -1 because of the rapid fire. I have a shooting stat of 6, so the enemy can't beat that. That's 212 basically, and the enemy can just reach an 8. Even though there was a lot of stuff in the middle that will probably give him, let's say, 3 points in defense, so it's still not enough to beat my 212. So here he is just killed automatically. So jumping onto the next turn. So basically here my team, he will just sneak between the electric substation and my hills, and they will just reach the extract, which is at the end of that road, and there are no more enemy left to fight in this area. So I guess it's a mission accomplished. We just reached the extract. We just have one pretty bad injury over here on Archer. A pretty bad injury on the torso, but we have enough, maybe not on him, but we have enough medical equipment to heal it. If it was part of a campaign, for example, we can heal between missions. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of that mission. That was a pretty long one, sorry about that. Hope you find that helpful, hope you find that cool. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of that new Spectre Operation supplement around the Tarkov universe. And yeah, we did a lot of looting, we extract with plenty of money, and that was really cool. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and I will see you guys for the next one. Bye everyone!